Hello, Saltine family. Hello, everyone. How are you? It's almost Friday. That doesn't mean anything to some people like me because every day is a work day, isn't it? But welcome to my channel. My name's Audrey. I am a psychic. I'm the salty psychic for obvious reasons. When you watch my videos, I'm salty. Get over it. If you if you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's who I am. But come on in, have a seat, get cozy. This might be a long video because we got a lot of awful crimes to discuss today. My head's gonna be cut off. My computer, everything's just a wreck. If I touch in the slightest, the video goes off, lights turn out. It's just a freaking nightmare, you guys. So I apologize for the unprofessionalism, but I'm here regardless. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Check out saltypsychic.com to schedule a reading, to buy some art that would help support my channels, both channels. My second channel is Audrey Christine, and that is at Audrey Christine 58. So head over there to that channel as well. That's just me behind the scenes, driving around, cooking, painting, all kinds of stuff, complaining, just whatever, everything else but crime on that other channel. So, God, where do I start? I have been so busy every single day watching trials online, sometimes two or three at a time. Sometimes my husband's watching one or two for me, and then I'm in here watching one or two other ones and catching up on the news. It seems to be feast or famine. Let me just fix my eyebrows if that's or my eyelashes if that's possible. I apologize. My eyelash appointment is tomorrow. There we go. A little better. It's been a chaotic day. Chaotic. Not even joking. I'll talk about that on the other channel though, because today we have a lot to get through. Okay, where the hell to start? Let's start with the biggest one. I don't even have notes on this one because this one is just so personal to me, because I've channeled the murdered victim so many times, and that is the Michelle Troconis case. Jennifer Dulos, who was murdered by Fotis Dulos, the husband. So, I had forgotten a lot of the detail shit in this case. It's like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that. I forgot about this. I forgot about that." So, this is the case. Fotis Dulos kills wife, says he didn't. He kills himself later. He didn't kill himself. I'm telling you right now, he did not kill himself. That man would never have killed himself. His life was taken. Whatever, not my problem. Um, and then his girlfriend, who's on trial right now. Um, I mean, my husband thinks she's innocent, and it just irks the shit out of me because to me, she is so freaking guilty of every charge. I don't care what my husband says. To me, she guilty. From what spirit shows, she guilty. And that's from both Jennifer and Fotis, who I've talked to. I've talked to the murderer, Fotis. So we're waiting for the outcome of Michelle Troconis's trial. Trial is over. Now they are in deliberations. It's going on, what, a day and a half, 2 days. We're just waiting. This case is in Connecticut. And I do try and catch some of the live feed comments going through. Most people say she's guilty. Once in a while, you'll see someone that says, she's innocent. She's just a poor lady with a daughter. Well, there's lots of ladies with daughters who do bad things, okay? So don't let that convince you that she's innocent. And I don't wanna get into everything I know about the case necessarily, about what both the murder victim and the murderer have revealed to me. Um, the thing I'm learning more and more about is it doesn't even matter if you are guilty or innocent. It is strictly this. Let me see if I can explain this. Can the charges in this case be argued to the point where the jury, who has to go by the laws, not their feelings and emotions, not by psychic abilities, but by the law, can the jury member say, okay, based on this law, this statute, I have to say she's not guilty because these things were not met? Okay, well, that's awful. That is an awful way to find someone innocent or guilty. How about we go how about we go by evidence? How about we go by the freaking video of Michelle Troconis throwing those license plates in the gutter? Oh, but wait a second. No one has X-ray vision, or, we can't read Michelle's mind. I can. We can't read Michelle's mind and go into her mind and look and see and investigate her brain to see what she actually knew. How do you prove that she knew what the hell she was doing with FOTUS? That's difficult. It's difficult to do. It's difficult to prove. It's very difficult. And the defense is pulling out so much crap, and they're allowed to. They're allowed to do everything they have been doing. We have a language barrier, and then we have a linguist specialist explaining, um, how much do we remember when we're hearing words in our second language. How does it come in? How does it get processed? How does the response come out? So, um, there's been so many attempts to say this woman didn't understand what Fotis was doing, what he meant, where he was. Forget the fact she's been caught lying several times. They show those videos of all the different times with the same questions and circumstances, different answers. Well, Audrey, that happens sometimes. I'm sure you do that. You can't remember. Yes, I know, but this is this is serious. This is a murder we're discussing. And you have to have watched all her videos of the police interrogations and stuff. But even then, if I take off my psychic hat and look at everything, I would have to say she's not guilty. I don't think the state, they did a good job, but I don't think there's a way. I don't think there's a way to argue the laws that are set up that we have to go by. There's nothing to argue that's going to result in a conviction. I hope she's convicted. I hope the jurors see through. I don't care what they have to do to get everyone to agree to a guilty conviction. Um, the universe is amazing. God's amazing. People's minds can be changed. Things could be come to light and understood. Okay, I'm getting spirit. Hello. I haven't had any spirit today till right now. I am just so passionate about this. As I have said so many times, there's no justice in murder. There is no justice. What would I like to have happen if someone's convicted of a crime instead of living in a heated, air conditioned, educational um, institution where you can work out, take hot showers, read? How about we get rid of that? How about we toss that out? Let's go back to some olden days where we're just gonna dump these people off on an island. Well, that's how Australia came to be, wasn't it? Everyone from England and European places were dumped in Australia to get rid of the criminals. So, I'm kinda joking, but I'm kind of not. I really wish there was something where we could just dump these people in the ocean. I don't care. That's your karma, sir, ma'am, whoever. I don't care who you are. If you've committed this murder, went along with the murder, assisted in hiding the murder, any of that, you need to be like on that show Survivor. Give them some flint. They can start a fire. Off you go. Off you go. It's not impossible to survive that. Anyway, so we're waiting to hear the jury's answer on that case. All right. I don't even have notes on that case, like I said, because everything's just right here in the forefront. Let me talk about Hamburger. Audrey, don't call him that. That's disrespectful. Well, did you know it's disrespectful killing 4 students? It is. So don't bitch at me when I call somebody a nickname. Okay? All right. I'm the salty psychic for a reason. Now we have Brian Koberger. The defense in this case, and Taylor and Company, stalling over and over and over again to start the trial for this man. Um, they want the case, they want the trial moved out of Latah County. They don't want it in Latah County because everyone's presidential. So he's not going to have a fair trial if he goes to court there. Okay, here's the thing, murderer. You committed the murder in this community. It should be those community members who decide if you're innocent or guilty. Okay? You violated them. They should violate you. they should they should decide your fate. Not someone in a different county. He's just such a freaking little god coward. He's a coward. Brian Hamburger. You know, the 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 amount of rights this man has insisted that they use on him is honestly disgusting. And, they know the world is watching. They discussed that in court yesterday. They know the world's watching, but it's like the state said, we're not the only county that knows this guy and what he's been arrested for. The whole world knows. The whole world. That's right. And there may be people in different areas than where this is going to take place, where they're less tolerable of people like Brian Koberger. Maybe they're going to bring the electric chair into the courtroom and do it right then and there. So, Brian, be careful what you wish for. You may get what you're asking for, but it's not going to be in the way you think. God, that thing. He's not even a man. He's a thing. He's a thing. That's it. So they'll be in court again on May 20th. I don't like that judge. There goes my notes on Brian Koberger. I don't like that judge. I'm just telling you. Oh, real quick. I've been wanting to say this for such a long time, and I either forget or whatever. On the Michelle Troconis case, okay? Um, I can read energy by voice, by posture, by reading something someone wrote. Okay, there's a lot of different ways for me to read energy. There's someone in that jury I don't like very much, and it's a man, and I think his name starts with an R. The letter R. This is R in sign language. R. Okay, Spirit's saying yes. Spirit's here. Spirit's telling me yes. Okay, and I'm getting full body chills. That's a big deal. I could see his face. I see him. I hear him. I don't like him. What is it I don't like? Well, um, I don't. he just rubs me the wrong way every time I hear his voice. How do I know I'm hearing a voice? Well, because sometimes they'll say good morning to the judge or to the lawyers. They've had to say things here and there, not a lot, not very much, but my ears are in tune to certain things. And my little rabbit ears perked up the first time I heard this man's voice. And I'm like, ooh, who the hell's that? And I heard again, I'm like, he's in the jury. I don't like him. His name starts with an R. Dark hair, sometimes facial hair, sometimes not, possibly Hispanic, Italian, something. Okay? I need to throw that out there. So when we find out who the jurors are, I gotta look into that. See who this person is. I need to know because there's something about him I just don't like. And I don't know if he is for or against the defendant. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, as a psychic, this is something I've picked up on. Okay. All right. Let's go to Chad Dorman out in Ohio, shot and killed his 3 boys right at his house. We know this one. He ran around, killed everybody. He said he killed everybody, confessed to it when he was arrested. And now he's saying, well, his lawyer's saying, his whole Miranda rights weren't read out per verbatim. So there's a card, that you can read instead of just giving a small version of your rights. There's the actual card where you can read it word for word as to not let anything like this happen. So what's happening is now they're saying this man was not informed of the right to remain silent the right way. They told him to shut the fuck up. All right. That makes sense to me. I know what that means if someone says that to me. But they did tell him. They did tell it's on body cam. Everything's on body cam. These again, too many rights, too many rights, too many rights. So, they asked him, "Do you want an attorney?" Okay, he says, "Oh, well, I have an attorney. I have a couple of them. One is Ruby Franklin and one is Keith Dorman." Okay, well, who are these people? Well, Keith Dorman is his father, who's not an attorney, and Ruby Franklin works for the CIA. Who the hell is she? What's happening, Ruby? What's happening? You know this man? Why do you know this man? Why are you friends with a murderer? And this guy was the day of the arrest, he was saying garbage from the Bible about kill the firstborn. I don't know all the scripture. He's like, but I didn't kill my wife. Like he's like in the Bible, it says kill the wife and then kill your firstborn and then this and then that. Well, that's obviously the Old Testament, I believe, from my studying of the Bible. Um, I do believe that's the Old Testament, Chad. And as a Christian, you're not supposed to do those things. We don't burn babies on the freaking rocks anymore. Okay. So this guy's gonna be another pain in the side. He's if you're not familiar with this case, go on and look at him. Chad Dorman, Doerman. Doerman. Beautiful little boys. He did not shoot the wife or the stepdaughter or the dog. The dog's still around. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. This is a death penalty case. I don't know how they do it out there, but the prosecutor, he's like, we want to make this man burn. We want to kill him. I mean, straight up into the cameras. This man will not walk away alive out of this courtroom. Something like that. Don't quote me, but something basically like that. And I'm like, whoa, interesting. Okay, well, I kind of like that attitude. So, not a funny situation, but an interesting case to follow. Again, this is in Ohio. And as an American, it's interesting for me to look at how things are handled in different states. All these cases are in all different states. The Michelle Troconis is in Connecticut. Brian Koberger is in Idaho. Chad Dorman is in Ohio. And then we have a case out of Texas. I mentioned this, I think, in my last video. Texas. Disappointed how Texas let this poor little girl, Audrey, spelt differently than my name, Audrii, get murdered, probably assaulted. Um, 11 years old, cause of death, blunt force trauma to the head. So this one's interesting. As I mentioned in the last video, this man who, let's see, his name, I don't have it written down. I think it's Don Donald Stephen Don Stephen McDougal. Apparently, Mr. Mac McDougal goes by Steve or Steven. I watched a video with the mother speaking. The mother did not have any custody of Audrey. There was no visitation. I think if there was visitation, it was, I believe, observed visitation or, like a protected visitation. Um, Now, this Stephen, the murderer, was actually attempting by kidnapping Audrey. He was trying to get to the mother, and mom's name is Cassie Matthews. Trying to get to Cassie Matthews, this man, this piece of garbage. Um, and authorities believe when he was trying to lure Cassie Matthews to the river where he dumped Audrey, it's, I guess, known at this point, Audrey was already passed. She was already gone. I don't know if she was in the water at that point, but she was dead. And that's what I have heard. Now, this is gonna be another really big case. And when it involves parenting or lack thereof, I get really salty because where the hell. Okay, I just took my blood pressure pill. I just took it. So, I'm hoping it's kicked in by now because I'm about to go off. Again, I'll call you out. I will call out the parents. I will call out the family. I don't care who I have to call out. People are not doing right by children. We are responsible for children, even in public. You see a child being harassed, abused, hit, yelled at, you have the authority to step in. If nothing else, you call the police. Oh, Audrey, these are just family matters. You know what? They're going to be murder matters. Okay. Don't turn away. Do not look away when you see a child being treated poorly. Now, I don't know anything about Audrey's schooling. If did the whole it's a small town. Did everyone know that Don Stephen McDougal had a rap sheet as long as my arm? As I said, everything is bigger in Texas, including Donald Stephen McDougal's rap sheet. Pitiful, disgusting, horrifying, unacceptable. This man should have been put away easily around 2005 for the rest of his life. No, but every single year, this man has some serious arrests on his record. What the what? And again, I'm going to say it. I think the judges and the lawyers should be held accountable in some way. I don't care if you disbar them. I don't care. I do not care what happens to the judges and the lawyers as far as any reprimanding as to why this man was kicked out of the jail so many times with so many serious offenses. It's baffling, baffling to me. And like I said, I love Texas. I lived in Texas. I love Texas. And you know what? I'm really let down because I thought Texas, we take care of our own. I don't live there now. I'm in California, but I still feel like I'm a part of Texas. Texas, I thought we took care of our own. Come on. God dang it. This little girl did not have to end this way. So if you want to look up this case, it's Audrey Cunningham. That case is going to be it's going to be on my channel cuz I'm not happy. I can't talk about every single case, but there are some that really speak to me. I'm getting chills again. Um and I know you guys asked me about a lot of other cases and I don't have time to look into every single case because it's a lot. As a psychic, yes, I get lots of information on my own, but then at some point, I do wanna go into records and documents and just read what has happened. What did they do? What did this person say? How did the police respond? I just wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna know what's going on. But then that's when I get a lot of information from spirit. When I start reading things, they're like, they'll tell me, "Well, that's not true," or, "Well, it wasn't exactly like that, but kind of," you know? Uh, spirits give me information. They're at peace, thank God, but we're not. We are not at peace. Okay, so that's the Audrey Cunningham case, and the last one I wanna talk about today is, Hannah Gutierrez in New Mexico. Again, another state, a different state. This is about the movie Rust with Alec Baldwin. I used to think he was okay, but as the years, have gone by, well, I didn't like him, and then I thought, "Well, he's kind of okay," but now I'm back to no. Audrey, stick with your original. Don't care for him. I think he's shady. He's only out to protect himself. But right now, we have Hannah Gutierrez on trial for a few different counts, including a manslaughter count. So this is a movie set placed in New Mexico. The name of the movie is Rust, the cowboy movie. Um, Somehow some loaded bullets got put into the prop gun, even though the prop gun is a real gun. Why? Why? I've been on movie sets. I spent a lot of time on movie sets. They're just people. These superstars and the directors and everybody, they're just people. It's not like a magical place where the movie just comes to life and the lights are shining. No, even the actors, they're living in some shithole RV out wherever, and then you'll have a wardrobe place, makeshift room for wardrobe with tents. I was in a movie once where, oh, okay, you know what? Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Hold on one second. For the crying out loud. All right, we're gonna switch cameras. All right, that's fine. Do you? Do you? We're switching to the garbage camera that's on the computer. So, yeah, so one time I was on a movie on location and the wardrobe place was just like some tents that were set up. outside, out in the field, and that kind of thing. So it's not fancy, you guys. It's Sets are not fancy. There's garbage everywhere. There's wires everywhere. There's people running around with headsets everywhere. Where's this? Where's that? Oh, the star needs her special water. It's not particularly fun. I would say it's kind of cool sometimes, but it's stressful and it's a job. So with Hannah Gutierrez, we hear a lot that she's young. Why did she have this job? You know what? Don't play that. Don't play it like that. You know, she may be young, but she still needs to be responsible. I had a kid and owned a house when I was her age of when this shooting happened. So maybe someone's less responsible than somebody else. As a psychic, I will say the feelings I get from looking at Hannah Gutierrez is, eh, didn't really want the job anyway, but it was kind of fell into my lap. Especially since her dad is in the industry and he's really big with it in the industry. Um, mm, uh, but there's more than one person responsible. And I think if she does time, guess who else should do time? Mr. Baldwin. He pulled the trigger. He can lie about it as much as he wants, Alec, but we know you pulled the trigger. How many experts need to come in and explain how a gun works? I know how a gun works. I had to dismantle and reassemble an M16 semi automatic rifle in the military, and you have to make sure it's done right so it will shoot. So I'm tired of excuses. Tired of excuses. Um, but I think this whole movie is just garbage. The way it was run, the way it was being run, I should say, on the El Cheapo budget of $6 million. Which I'm not laughing at $6 million. That's a lot of money, Alec. You should have just kept your frickin' $6 million instead of trying to keep your career going at whatever age you are now, sir. There's plenty of other things you could have done. I'm sure you have offers. Not anymore, though. I don't think I've been on a set where there's weapons. I don't think so. Yeah. So this one, we're still only in the first few days of that trial, so it's getting very interesting. If you're interested in a really interesting case with a lot of back and forth, a lot of emotion, a lot of finger pointing towards Alec as well as Hannah Gutierrez, it's just interesting. That's all I can say. If you wanna just put it on in the background while you're driving or you're cooking or whatever you're doing at home or wherever, it is an interesting one to listen to. So, again, that's Hannah Gutierrez on trial for the movie Rust. She was the armorer, so in charge of bullets and guns, and there's no need for guns. There's no need for guns. A movie's a movie. We know it's a movie. We know it's not real. The characters, they're just a character. We don't need real shit on we don't. We know. Plus with AI and special effects, why? Why do we need bullets, fake bullets or anything else? Just do blow it up in the the software. Software's amazing now. The technology to make things look real is unbelievable. So, my opinion, there should be no more real guns on set. They can be made out of metal, but they should not have any place for a bullet to sit in and come out in. So that's what I have right now, you guys. It's just busy. It's busy, busy. But as soon as we get the results from Michelle Traconis's trial, I will be back on probably well, maybe a live show, depending when, what day, and what time the verdict comes out. So it's exciting. I'm excited for this one to be over. Again, no justice and murder. No justice. Okay. Let's not forget that. Let's not be tolerable with simply a guilty verdict because we need to start preventing these things from happening. How? more severe punishments for those who have done it and set them as an example. Out in the ocean, on an island, I don't care where they go. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Again, head over to Salty Psychic. Check out my little art pieces. Everything's $35 each. They're just my little art pieces. It will help support the channel. I appreciate it. And check out the other channel, Audrey Christine, for behind the scenes, mostly girl talk. We talk about menopause, women's issues a lot, and just life and family too, kids, whatever. All right, you guys take care. I'll see you real soon. All right, ciao.